Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a lesson through the Spirit. A few brothers kind of went into this. Just a slight video I want to play. I should have two videos, maybe three, that I want to get into, because it says extremists inspired by conspiracy theories pose major threats to 2024 elections. Also, there was another video, ballot boxes set on fire, election interference. Also, there was another one, which is the seditious spirit rising in Babylon before elections, poll violence, burn ballot boxes, which is all around the same genre, so to speak. So what they're doing now, they're basically trying to sabotage the selection. I call it selection because we know presidents are selected, not elected. Anybody that's in politics or understands some type of semblance of kingdoms will very well understand that will be the case. I believe this is an inside job. You know, I believe it's coming from both parties because they want the people in Babylon to be on edge about who's going to be the next king of Babylon. All right, to aid this world into the New World Order, because the next stop up is the New World Order. No matter who wins or loses, the New World Order is the ultimate goal to enslave humanity under digital technocracy, so to speak. Okay, so I have a video here, and they're trying to set up a civil war. Okay, if you see the tensions of the people, and especially around this time, they mentioned that ammo sales went up. So like they have like particular gun shows and things like that. People are going out there in record numbers because, you know, people are expecting to get into some type of conflict here time election. Me personally, I feel like small things will go down, you know, whether which side lose, but I don't really see a full-fledged civil war. But then again, you know, I speak as a man. I could be wrong about that. You know, the scriptures say that men should destroy each other's homes for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, I mean, as long as there's bread and circus intact, people can often rebound and kind of accept the parties to be, you know. They're just, in their mindset, we just have to tough it out another 4 years. And maybe we'll get a candidate in there that may be persuasive to human affairs, okay? But I'm going to play this video. And I got another video I'm going to play, and then we're going to get the precepts in there, and we'll end it after that. So here we go.
Hey, want to hear some fucked up shit? Alexa, who will win the next American election?
The 2024 American election will not take place. There will be no winner. War Powers Resolution of 1973 or the War Powers Act will be invoked by the act of war with Russia and China. Once an invoked, the standing party will retain and remain in power.
Now, I mean, we're pretty much there. China, Russia, Iran, now the Arabian world, they're doing military drills, joint drills. The Arabian world, okay, like it tells us in second address, the dragons of Arabia and the Carmenians, we're going to link up. Now they're doing joint military drills, so we're there, okay? The third war has started, all right? But we still have particular prophecies that have to come to fruition before all is said and done. So, you know, Alexa mentioned that there won't be an election. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is because, for one thing, I don't know how it's programmed in Alexa's algorithm to say something like that. But, you know, hey, shit, the Lord can do all things. So we just have to wait and see. My thing is, if they was going to suspend the election, I mean, they got to move quick this week, or something has to go down that week. You know, something has to go down the week of the election, or something has to happen this week. You know, because if that's the case, they probably would have done something that they probably would have plunged the country into a civil war about a month ago and kind of let things blow over from there, which would have been the smartest thing to do. But, you know, there's many scripts, one outcome. So we don't know what script the elites are going off of, but it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai at the end of the day, okay? We do know that it was in talks of them suspending the election, and it could still very well happen. But like I said, we just have to wait and see.
And even more breaking news now, U.S. intelligence agencies are warning of threats of violence in the upcoming election. In a joint intelligence bulletin, agents from the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning law enforcement agencies that domestic violent extremists are seeking to terrorize and disrupt the vote. Let's get more now from NBC's Ken Dilanian. What more can you tell us about this warning, Ken?
Good morning, Anna. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning in this new intelligence bulletin of the heightened risk of lone wolf attacks by domestic extremists motivated by election-related conspiracy theories, including beliefs in widespread voter fraud and their hatred of their political opponents. This will surprise no one who's been paying attention, but it's significant that these agencies are putting this out to local law enforcement a week before the election. The new unclassified bulletin says the goal of these attacks would be to terrorize and disrupt the vote. And to be clear, this document does not describe intelligence about any specific threat. It talks about a general atmosphere of anger and misinformation that could prompt unstable people to engage in threats or violence. And of course, we've already seen that in recent weeks with a series of arrests for election threats, including a man in Philadelphia who allegedly threatened to skin election workers alive. And remember last week, police in Phoenix arrested a person in connection with a mailbox fire that damaged around 20 ballots. The report identified potential targets of violence to include candidates, elected officials, election workers, members of the media, and judges involved in election cases. The potential threats include physical attacks and violence at polling places, ballot drop boxes, voter registration locations, and rallies and campaign events. And of course, Anna, the report doesn't say this, but it's obvious that a lot of these extremists are driven by years of lies about the election, 2020 election, by Donald Trump and his allies.
A very, very important warning. Ken Dilanian, thank you for bringing us that.
You see what I'm saying? So when you have these talking heads here, these news anchormen and women, they creating the narrative. And you have to understand, when you see these people here, that's how you know that the narratives are usually not true. Okay, these people are the biggest progenitor of disinformation that's out there. Okay, they are quick to call people conspiracy theorists, but yet they're the ones that's controlling the narratives. They have the printing presses. They controls what goes through the tabloids, you know. So when they say something, usually take it with a grain of salt, because usually they're the ones behind it. Sure, you got crazy people out here that's doing all types of wickedness, and people are on edge about this, but a lot of times they have their paid agitators to kind of add insult to injury, if that make any sense. All right, so let's get a precept real quick. The book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, just basic stuff. All right, and it says here, the book of Isaiah 19:1, it says the burden of Egypt. Okay, and what is a burden? A burden is something that's hard to bear. Okay, a trial, or something that's hard to bear, something that's weighing down, you know. But it says the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt should be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt should melt in the midst of it. Okay, and this is upon the return of Yahushua. All right, and the Lord is sending his spirit through here. All right, because he's disrupting this place. It's like I said, the country have never been this most divided on whatever presidential candidates they want to elect. Okay, they spoon feed you Trump to make it seem like he just some savior to humanity, when Trump is basically working for the elites as well. But people are too stupid to realize that, because they're blinded by their own pride and their own entitlement. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So that's a civil war. All right. And eventually all hell will break loose on the streets of America. Okay. Your little neighbors that you speak to and is walking a dog and taking out the trash every morning. Eventually y'all going to be at each other's throats, man, because that's Bible prophecy. Okay, the scriptures say so. And it says here, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. So every city, every neighborhood, every particular prince or municipality, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be some form of civil war in these particular municipalities, man. Okay, there's going to be violence that's going to erupt on the streets of America. You can see it now. Okay, people just sitting back there waiting on the time just to act crazy. Like we say, the purge, that's going to be based on a real life event. And the most accurate one is the forever purge, because, hey, Esau say, all right, y'all could purge 12 hours. Motherfucker going to be purging for 2 weeks. You know, people ain't just going to be able to turn off that violence, man. Once that violence kicks up, it's going to be a spirit on people to continue to go forth, man. All right. And you have a lot of crazies, a lot of loonies out here, a lot of people on medication. All right. People just on edge. They mad. You got this devil, man. And hey, look out for these Edomites, man. All right. Like there's a pack of them downstairs. There's this one. Oh, he's a slime. He's just a filthy sleaze. He's just a. You know how you got them old Edomites that look like they don't even wash they draw. They just dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like just the nasty. They take a shit and don't even wash their hands afterwards. I guess this guy was like an old vet or something like that. You could tell he's very patriotic. You know, he wears his American shit. You know, he's one of them devils. And he moved in roughly less than a year ago with his disabled wife and his dogs. And he got a son that comes over here and, you know, full of tattoos and shit like that. I guess he think he's cool, whatever. But I could feel a hatred in him because I think he got a few sons. And sometimes they come over here in different cars. And they all look like they was probably like some type of militia or something like that. I just get real bad vibes from them people, man, you know. Me and the guy, we rarely speak to each other, you know. We'll see each other in crossing, but in back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, Spirit, like, watch him. You know what I'm saying? Watch him, because I guarantee you, when all hell break loose, they gonna try to make a move on Jake's. And I'm just saying Jake in general. They just got that real spirit on them, you know. That real hatred, that real racist spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, you Jakes out there, hey, Esau coming for you. That's all I'm gonna say. And it says here, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fell in the midst thereof, all right? And the spirit is falling now. The economy is collapsing. I mean, they're just propping this place up, but it's dead, you know? It's like a ventriloquist, you know? They're propping it up to be alive and well and moving and animated, but it's really dead, okay? The fatal blow has been delivered. She's already struck the iceberg. Okay, Titanic is sinking. Get on a lifeboat, which is this truth. And it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council thereof. Yeah, your councils, your senators, your politicians, your presidents, your mayors, you know, your congressmen, all these people, your ninth ward, your aldermen, all these people, that's the councils. Okay, so when you look up the word council here, quick little word. All right, hold on. All right, let's see what it says here. Counsel, advise, purpose, right? Yep, a counsel at law. You know, your judges and shit like that. It says a counsel at law is a person who gives advice and deals with various issues. So you know how when things happen in the country, then Biden gets on there. He gives what he call the primetime speech or State of the Union speech when they're giving all these excuses as to why certain things are happening in the country. It says gives advice and deals with various issues, particular in legal matters. It says the title is often used interchangeably with the title of a lawyer, but the word counsel can mean advice given outside of the context of a legal profession, meaning your religious leaders, you know, your religious leaders, your groups, your support groups, whatever it may be, your witches, your warlocks, your psychics, your mediums. Okay, it says, and destroy the counsel thereof. And they should seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Yeah, so basically once these politicians and stuff like that cease and they make a run on you, then eventually they will go to their psychic mediums. They will start seeking spirit mediums, you know, because America is full of witchcraft anyway. Okay, majority of you black women are involved in some type of witchcraft. So you're going to be seeking into your divine goddess and your what do you call that, your divinity and all this other, your divine femininity and all this other stuff. What's another one? Oh, I'm manifesting something, you know, right? Manifest to get a man and grow some damn hair. How about that? But anyway, it says, and the Egyptians I will give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord and the Lord of hosts. All right, so this is the time that we're in, and it's right in the scriptures. So I pray like hell that this election don't come to pass. I pray like hell that whoever gets in, if there is an election, I pray like hell they rushed. I pray the Most High put the spirit on these demons to make the move, because we're really waiting on an RFID chip. Okay, and I'm gonna say the economic collapse has to come first, because that's gonna be the creme de la creme to get everybody back in some type of hopeful mindset, which that ain't gonna be no hope. Okay. So let me play this other video, just a couple of minutes of it, and we'll get another precept, and that'll be that.
Voters are increasingly worried that the country will see election-related violence next week. According to a new Associated Press NORC survey, about 9 in 10 registered voters say the loser should concede once every state is done counting votes and legal challenges are resolved. But only about a third think Trump will accept the results and concede if he loses. And about 4 in 10 of voters surveyed say that they're extremely or very worried about violent attempts to overturn the election. News Nation's Xavier Walton joining us live from Dallas, Texas this morning. And Xavier, Texas has already seen violence break out at some of its polling places. What went down there?
Well, Marky, it's stories like these that make people concerned and worried, like you just mentioned there. But essentially, a man in his 60s showed up to vote, was waiting in line, had a MAGA hat on, a poll worker, election worker, also in his 60s, asked him to take it off. And that's when things, they took a turn, to say the least. This actually happened in San Antonio, Texas. And the man, Jesse Lutzenberger, here he is here. I just kind of played out what happened. But that man here arrested and accused of assaulting a 69-year-old election worker. So he actually took off his hat, then he voted, but on his way out of the building, he put the hat back on. The election clerk tried to escort him out and asked him again to remove the hat. The sheriff's officials say, hey, that's when Lutzenberger started punching the clerk in the face and chest multiple times. But it's that safety of these polling places around the country that really is top of mind, as you mentioned. Check out this video from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, where workers actually put up a bulletproof protective covering on the inside of the window. People can see outside the building, but they cannot see inside. They say the move.
So you see, people are doing all that because they're afraid that people are gonna bug out, man. And on top of that, it's because the Esau is generating fear through these news, through this selective news service, man, through the small hats. Esau is generating fear. He's putting all this shit in the news, man. So he's generating this fear because he wants people to bug out. Okay, this is all by design. Order out of chaos, man. Order out chaos. Okay, divide the people. Give them between two candidates and watch them rip each other like Reservoir Dogs, because the main violence is going to come from people on people. Okay, because these people, they have no self-control, man. They don't have love for their fellow so-called American or citizen. So Esau is going to force the military to step in and bring some type of order. And in the midst of the order, you're going to have these troops, man, that is going to go batshit crazy. And this is what we telling you, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, while you sitting up here trying to justify going down there, putting your life on the line and go vote for a candidate that don't give two shits about you. You Jakes are getting ready to get caught up in this coming flood, man. You're getting ready to get caught up in an act. And don't say that the prophets didn't warn you. We've been telling you this. Us personally, we've been telling you this for the last 13 years, man. Apostles been going into this the last 20 plus years. Saying with other brothers, we've been speaking this thing. We've been telling you that civil war is coming to America, and all you people are getting ready to get caught up in this coming flood of destruction. But the elect, we're gonna be protected from all the riffraff, man.
Was taken after recommendations made to the county by federal.
Matter of fact, let me do this. Psalm 17. This is the book of Psalms 18, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 4. It says, "The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid." Okay, all right, and those floods are going into those stormtroopers, man. These militias, like I said, them demons downstairs. Now they've never given me any type of like notion or anything like that. Like, yeah, but you can feel the spirit on them. Like, they don't like Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just tell, you feel the coldness in them. And the minute that the power goes off, those Edomites, man, hey, you better believe that they got guns, man. They already got in their mindset what they want to do to Jake. So that's what I'm saying. But it says, "The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, and the snares of death prevented me." Okay. And in distress, I called upon Yahweh and cried unto my power, and he heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears, all right? So we're going to call on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that day, you know, if threat gets close to us, because, you know, we're going to be in the midst of all this stuff, okay? We're going to see it go down. We're going to see our neighbors riot. We're going to see people get put to death in the street. You're going to see somebody get put to death before your eyes, like the scriptures say, 1,000 might I right, 10,000 might I left, but it should not come nigh thee. So we're going to see people drop all around us, but yet we're going to be all right. You know, the Lord has a very a way of delivering his elect. Okay. 2nd Esdras 13, and I'm going to start at verses 29. It says here, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, and them is talking about the elect. And he should come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, one realm against another, all right? So that's going into world war, civil war. This world is getting ready to be on complete fire, man. Like the Lord said, I'll come to send a fire on earth. What would I be if it had already been kindled? So, yeah, the fire is already brewing. Just a matter before the time the top blows, and then it's a wrap, you know? 2nd Esdras 6, and I'm going to start at verses 24. It says, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So friends, you know, Bebe and Boo Boo, them niggas that grew up with each other, you know, Lowski and Relly Rails and Marvos and Cellos and, you know, all them guys, man, they gonna be at each other's throats, man. All right. And it says here, at a time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they should not run. Okay, so people are getting ready to go at each other's necks, man. All right, like I said, this election will bring more attention, and eventually if they just drop the economy, collapse the economy, then people are really going to go back. When the economy collapses, that's when it's really going to be a free fall. Okay, all that Democrat Republic nonsense is going to go out of the window. Once this place falls as a collective, when the food and the monetary system collapses, people ain't going to worry about political parties at that day. They're going to be like, you know what, whoever got what I need, I'm going in and I'm taking it, man. All right, so we got to be in a mindset and prepare our minds to deal with this shit, man. Because, hey, don't be surprised somebody come banging at your door trying to get what you got, brother, you know? And I'm just being real with y'all because, I mean, yeah, we're going to be protected through this, but we're not going to be exempt from seeing shit, you know? And the Lord may just put it on your spirit to do what you got to do. So be prepared in that mindset too, man. I think about it all the time, you know? It's either you or me. And it damn sure ain't gonna be me if I got the Lord on my side, man. So, hey, that's the mindset I got. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you are edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
Security experts, Luzerne County, which is where Wilkes-Barre is, implemented several unusual safety measures like this one, also including low barriers, using large rocks to really cover the outside of one of their county buildings there. That gives you a sense of just how safety really is top of mind when it comes to this election.
Yeah, really sad and really scary to see. And yeah, Xavier, if I'm racking my brain correctly, I think that county has faced multiple threats over the previous years as well. Praying for safety for everybody come November 5th. Xavier Walton, thanks so much.
Good morning, everyone. District Attorney Heather Adams. On Tuesday afternoon, I was contacted by Krista Miller, who is our Chief Clerk of Elections, regarding potentially fraudulent voter registration applications that had recently been received by her office. At that time, she informed me that the Elections Office received approximately 2,500 applications at or near the deadline for registering to vote. While preparing to process these applications, staff noticed that numerous applications appeared to have the same handwriting, were filled out on the same day with unknown signatures, and some were previously registered voters, excuse me, and the signatures on file did not match the signatures on the application. So before I begin to summarize our preliminary findings, I must remind everyone that this is an ongoing investigation, and for that reason, I will be limited in the details that I can provide. Lancaster County detectives began investigating the voter registration applications and immediately found applications that were indeed fraudulent. Indicators of fraud included inaccuracies with the addresses listed on the applications, false personal identification information, as well as false names. A number of the applications also contained names that did not match the provided Social Security information. In some cases, applications contained correct personal identification information, such as the correct address, correct phone number, date of birth, driver's license number, and Social Security number. But the individuals listed on the applications informed detectives that they did not request the form, they did not complete the form, and verified that the signature on the form was not theirs. At this point, it is believed that the fraudulent voter registrations are connected to a large-scale canvassing operations for voter registrations that date back to June. However, the majority of the applications received are dated August 15th and after. Those canvassing for voter registrations were employed and paid to obtain voter registration applications. The majority of the applications were from residents in the city of Lancaster. However, applications were also received from residents in Columbia, Elizabethtown, Mountjoy, Akron, Ephrata, Stevens, Strasburg, as well as other locations across Lancaster County. The canvasses themselves took place at various shopping centers, parking lots of grocery stores and businesses, sidewalks, and parks. During this preliminary investigations, detectives were able to verify some of the applications were indeed legitimate. In these instances, the applicant verified that they did provide